Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Ginger Toy Mentor. Today we're going to be looking at the Decepticon Mindwipe. He is also a Headmaster. Came pretty late in the series, obviously toward the end. And this is the Walmart, I don't want to say reproduction because it's not a reproduction. This is actually kind of like a new model put inside the old box. It does resemble the original, but it's not the original. So let's take a look and see what has changed. Now, the reason why I say that is because in the past, Walmart has put out some reproduction models, like, for instance, the reproduction Optimus Prime, reproduction Starscream, which I will eventually have on my channel as well. But these are not reproduction units. As you can see, our boy Mindwipe here is very interesting. It looks more like a new Transformer than an old one, but still resembles the old style. He has clearly written right here number F1026, made in Vietnam, with a number V2976B. And on his other wing, he has Hasbro with an engraving of 02821. It's actually engraved into the plastic. It's interesting. He's got a little crisscross thing going across his chest here. And one along his feet. And that seems to be it. He's got this big looking gun thing here. Let's see if we can pop him out. Then he has his little gun, and of course the Headmaster. And his head is kind of resembles, honestly, to me, like one of the bugs, the Insecticons. Kind of looks like an Insecticon face, but a lot of the Decepticons had very generic faces. I'm assuming that our boy here, the Headmaster, probably goes into this gun. He does indeed. And then I would assume that this fits nicely like that. So that our boy, the Headmaster, is in here just chilling out, relaxing, shooting some b-ball after school. Let's check the manual and see if there's any place to put our Headmaster while he's in his flying form. It seems like our Headmaster is supposed to sit inside of the bat when he's transformed, and the gun is apparently supposed to go on the underside of his butt. So let's open up the compartment, which seems to be on right on his front here, and then we're going to sit our Headmaster inside. I mean, it kind of made it seem like he was actually like sitting in here. Oh yeah, he is. There's a little notch on his foot, and the notch goes into a notch on the inside of the Transformer. So what you're doing is you're actually sitting him in here, like legit sitting him in here. And he, let me see if I can, because of course it's a little dark inside of the hole here. And you can see he's just sitting in there, just having a blast. You can put his arms up, it looks like, or you could put his arms down. It's not bad. Of course, you could close that up, and our little Headmaster is inside. And according to the manual, it says that the gun actually goes under his butthole. I'm not really sure how that works, but apparently there's a hole right here in his butt, and the gun goes into the butthole like this and sticks out like a giant phallic device. At least I think that's correct. Let me reconsult the manual real quick. Yes, indeed. It says that it sits right underneath there, in that little hole. That's really kind of strange. Although it It's kind of hard to tell whether it's upside down or not. It also seems as though they folded up the blades, so there's these blades on it that fold it downward. So it looks like they folded those up, and then yes. Also, the dude can, of course, go in here as well. So that's also a thing. Seems a little awkward to put this gun here. I'm not gonna lie. It's like it's a little weird. I mean, it just kind of seems like he's got a giant penis or something. As for the rest of the toy, I mean, his mouth seems to open and close, which is pretty cool. So you can open and close his mouth. His wings are very articulate. There seems to be several different points at which you could articulate his wings. So you could have his wings kind of like wrapped around himself like this to kind of like defend himself or something from damage, or you can have them fully extended. I mean, for the most part, his wings are rather interesting. His wings are all hard plastic with the exception of a couple bits here and there. So the tips of his wings are actually rubber. Not sure if I can show you this. They're very clearly rubber. Also, these wings in the back are very clearly rubber as well. As well as his head seems to be made out of rubber, so like his ears can wiggle and move. Whereas most of him seems to be made out of plastic. It's just that there are several pieces of him that seem to be made out of rubber. I'm not necessarily sure that's a bad thing at all, just pointing it out. All in all, he seems like a pretty sturdy transformation here. I'm really not sure about the crotch gun. I think I'm going to take that off for his fashion photo shot. Let's get a photo shot of him in his bat mode, and then we're going to transform him into his robot mode, which does look a little complicated, and I might need the manual. Who knows? Alright, so let's see if we can transform Mindwipe into a robot form. One thing I did notice when I was playing around with him was that his head just folds down like this, so pretty easy to grasp that that's probably part of his transformation. We also probably need to take out our Headmaster from the inside, which is in there really good, by the way. Like, I mean, he's really in there good. And close that up. I also see what looks like feet on the back of the wings, which makes me think that the wings are actually his feet. So let's see if we can maybe because it looks like the wings actually kind of just fold up together. Like the whole wing mechanism looks like it just folds together and turns into a foot, which sounds pretty cool, to be honest. And yeah, that's actually a pretty cool looking foot. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so probably the same thing with the second one, right? So fold, fold, fold. There we go. Alright, then we got his two kind of arms that are, I guess, were his feet before. So his feet become his arms. His wings become his legs, and however else that works. Okay, I'll fold that. It's pretty straightforward. The hands come out like this. Although I seem to have them backwards. Yep, there we go. Keep his head folded against his body, I suppose. I think at this point we need to switch his legs around. Yeah. So his legs are a little, like, what's the term? Bow-legged? Like, notice how there's a gap in between his legs, and his ankles won't touch, so both his feet are pointed outward at like an odd angle. It does make for a little bit of an awkward, kind of like a leg-foot scenario. Kind of makes me think I'm supposed to flip them. Yes, it does seem like you're supposed to spin them. That's definitely better than it was before. And we got his head on there. She's looking pretty sweet, not gonna lie. Mindwipe always was a really handsome transformer with all his like bat wings and everything, even if he did speak in that really cheesy like Transylvania language. Let's check the manual and see what they want us to do with his guns in his robot mode. So it looks like his main gun goes in his, I want to say his right hand, and his sub gun is not actually a gun, although it does have some barrels on it. It's actually a kind of like a razor claw, which he uses, I'm sure, to swipe people and like cut them up. Although, if I remember correctly from the TV show, Mindwipe's major powers usually had to do something with the ability to, you know, like hypnotize people and stuff like that, right? So, like, the ability to hypnotize was definitely an interesting thing that he could do. And let's get a little bit of extra light on him here, just kind of like so you can really see his features. I mean, he really has a very dark black color with a very nice purple shade in his lighting. I mean, or his coloring rather. He's very pretty. He's a very pretty robot, and this claw is pretty cool. Like, I kind of feel like you should like do it like this, so you can like see the claw or something. I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly how you could do it, so you could really get like a good, like, I'm coming to claw you, sucker. And I point the gun like this. Like, oh wow, that gun is like really loose in his hand. Like, holy crap, that gun is loose. The whole thing just like tilts around really easily in his hand. That's a little loose. Definitely not as tight as some of the other ones that I've seen from this series. For instance, I recently just did Chrome Dome, which was very tight. Although there was a couple of them that were worse than this one by far. Let's go to a fashion photo shot of him in his robot mode, because it does look like we have everything correct, and get a really good look at him. As always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, and keep watching.